What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another WornKibbles video. Today I've got a crazy viewer-submitted story today from a dude who works in a big department store, and he had a pretty crazy interaction with somebody who wanted chicken pretty bad, and when he brought her to the chicken, she didn't want it anymore. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but I guess the story will explain it, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Alright, so this story was submitted by a guy who works at a grocery store, and I'm not going to say which one, but it was one of the big two that we have in America, like either a Target or a Walmart, so you get the vibes. Like, it's a big store, and we're going to call this dude Charlie. Now, with these stores being so big, I said grocery store, but really, I don't really know how, like, a Walmart is categorized as a store, but anyway, because of how big these stores are, Charlie's job wasn't really too much customer interaction. Like, basically, his job was really just to stock the shelves and take in carts, sometimes run register, but like he wasn't usually helping people find things. But on this fateful day, he was doomed to probably one of the strangest customer interactions ever. So on this specific day, Charlie is just assigned to stocking the shelves. So basically he's walking around the store, putting up new stuff on the shelves, taking back things that people didn't buy, just making sure everything was in the right place. But suddenly he hears some lady behind him going, "Hey, hey." And he kind of thinks that, like, that's weird, but he doesn't really pay any attention to it at first. Like, he doesn't think the lady is talking to him specifically, but her heys keep getting louder, and she keeps getting closer to him until she is literally starts, like, tapping him on the shoulder and goes, "Hey, I was talking to you." So Charlie spins around, puts on his best, like, customer service voice, and obviously he's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry about that. I didn't think you were talking to me. How can I help you today?" And this lady is just staring at him, completely deadpan, and she just says, "Oh, you'll help me all right, 'cause I'm Cheryl Reed. Now where's the chicken?" Now, he's a little taken aback by this because he has no idea who Cheryl Reed is. Honestly, I don't know who Cheryl Reed is. I don't think any of us will ever know because at the end of this story, you'll see she, like, runs away. She's unknown. But what we do know is that she wanted chicken, and she wanted it bad. Now, Charlie is a bit confused because they're standing in, like, the cereal aisle, so they're pretty far away from the chicken, but he figures, okay, maybe she's new to the store. So he says, "Oh, the raw chicken is over in the meat department in the back corner, and if you want the hot rotisserie chickens, those are right by the deli at the front." And this lady just, like, blinks at him, still, like, no expression, and she just shakes her head and goes, "No, I don't want that. Where's the chicken?" And Charlie's like, he tries again. "Oh, are you looking for frozen chicken, like chicken nuggets or frozen breast? That's in aisle 14. She gets visibly annoyed, like crosses her arms and says louder this time, "No, not the frozen chicken, the chicken. Take me to the chicken." And at this point, Charlie is starting to wonder if he's the crazy one, but since he can't understand what she needs, maybe he would just walk her to the meat aisle. So he goes, "All right, follow me." He walks her all the way across the store to this massive wall of poultry. He's literally gestures to, like, this entire section, breasts, thighs, wings, whole bird, and says, "Here we go, ma'am. This is all of our chicken." And the lady looks at the shelves, looks at Charlie, and gets this look of utter disgust on her face. She scoffs and goes, "Huh, are you stupid? That's not chicken. I asked for the chicken." Now, Charlie here has no idea how to respond to this. So he literally just goes, "Okay, I'm calling a manager. I don't know how to help you," which is funny because usually it's like the crazy lady that wants to call the manager. However, Charlie is, like, dumbfounded by this woman. He has no idea what she thinks chicken is if it's not the food that they're literally surrounded by. Like, so he goes to reach for his walkie-talkie, and, like, in big stores like this, all the employees have radios so that they can just, like, radio in their manager or, like, other things because it's hard to find people in a store so big. And he goes, "I'm gonna call a manager," reaches for his radio. But when he does that, this lady gets a sort of, like, crazed look in her eyes and immediately snaps and goes, "No, no managers," and lunges for his radio. Like, she tries to grab it out of his hand, which is actually insane. But she doesn't get it because Charlie like jumps back and he's like, "Ma'am, what are you doing?" Obviously confused and now scared that this mythical Cheryl Reed is going to attack him. Like, she is literally turning the color of a tomato. And the lady just goes, "I said no managers. Now where's the chicken?" Like, the most angry that he has ever seen a lady be at his job. And like, this kid is scared. He's not trained for this. Like, he doesn't know what to do, but he decides he's just gonna play it cool and bring the lady to his manager. Like, actually, that's really smart though, because I would not have been able to think of that. Like, he goes, "Oh, of course, I'm sorry. If you would come with me, I'll show you right where the chicken is. I'm sorry for the misunderstanding." Like, that's genius, because if it was me, I probably would have started screaming into my radio, "I need a manager now!" and probably just running away from this lady so that she doesn't start using the frozen chicken as a club to beat me. But either way, he sets off to show the lady where the chicken is. I'm doing air quotes that you guys can't see, but he's really just bringing her to his manager. But like I said before, the store is pretty big and he doesn't know where his manager is specifically going to be. So he's just kind of like walking around the store with this lady following him, like trying to search for someone with more authority than him. So he's like awkwardly hoping that it doesn't take too long to find someone, but finally he turns a corner a few aisles down and there's his manager standing there. And when he sees this manager dude, he just books it to him, like just starts sprinting, leaves this lady in the dust, and immediately starts telling the manager that this lady is crazy. She tried to grab his radio. She needs to be kicked out. Now, his manager just goes, "Okay, well, where's this lady?" And she's standing back at the end of this aisle still where he left her, and he points at her. And where she's standing is right next to a big wall of toilet paper. They're in the toilet paper aisle, and they start walking towards her, and all she does, she just screams, "All I wanted was the chicken. It didn't have to be like this." And she just grabs a big thing of toilet paper, throws it at the manager, and just starts sprinting. Like, dude, I don't know what she doesn't like about managers. It's like she's some sort of like cryptid, and she doesn't want people to like see her because she just sprinted out of the store and left. Like, hit him with the flash bomb and then disappearing into a puff of smoke, but it's really just her throwing a toilet paper tube and then running off into the parking lot. But like, I don't know, at least they didn't have to kick her out. But they were both just like standing there in shock, and Charlie was like, "What in the world?" And this manager was just like, "Okay, what happened?" And so he tells his manager the whole story about like all the chicken and everything, and the manager was like, "All right, I guess that's weird, but all we can do is like go to the cameras." And then they found her on the cameras and banned her like for her picture like at the store. So if anybody recognizes her at the store, she'll get kicked out later. So she ended up being banned from the store, which is pretty interesting. But anyway, guys, I thought that story was pretty crazy. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, or else Cheryl Reed will show up to your house and ask you for chicken, and she won't leave until you give her every single piece of chicken that you have in your house. So if you guys don't want to give her all of your chicken, make sure you leave a like, and might as well give my channel a little subscribe here while you're at it. I post more content just like this every single week, so I'll see you all in the next one, and as always, thanks for watching.